Oh, Nathan teed it up for me. Good question, Nathan. If you were a brand new agent just starting out, which I know you're not because we've worked together in the past, where would you spend your first 100 days in terms of effort? Okay, interesting question. So let me think about this for a second. If I were a brand new agent, where would I spend my first 100 days in terms of effort? Well, the majority of that time is going to have to be in prospecting of some sort, right? Because until we get shippers, nothing else matters, right? So I would spend some time obviously finding my niche, identifying my niche. That would be upfront. That would be really important. Trying to identify the niche that I want to go after and creating a list, a master list of shippers in that niche so that I could then focus on them. Once I have that, I would then focus on prospecting. So there would probably be multiple ways I would do that. Now you got to understand, I'm in a little bit different situation than most people because I've leveraged LinkedIn, digital marketing, social selling to generate sales for well over a decade now. So my experience level is a little bit different. But for the average person starting as an agent, they're probably going to start with cold calling or cold emailing. That's probably where they're going to start. And both of those work, okay? And what I mean by cold calling is reaching out to someone who doesn't know who you are, you have limited information on, and then you trying to make magic happen and try to convert them into a client. Cold emailing is the same thing. It's just doing it through email. The other strategy would be where I would leverage heavily would be LinkedIn and social selling. So I've leveraged LinkedIn to generate millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of freight and clients for my logistics company. It was the platform that helped us to grow to where we were before I sold the company, when we were doing 80 million in sales, and where they are today, which they're currently doing over $200 million in sales with the exact same management team, with the exact same products, the exact same offering, and the exact same marketing. Okay, so all they've done is continue to grow the business, right? Using the exact same format. LinkedIn is still a big part of what they do. It was a huge part of what we had developed as a way to grow. And so LinkedIn and social selling would be another one. And beyond that, if I had the financial resources, I would probably consider, if I understood my target market well enough and I started getting a little bit of traction with those other 3 channels that I shared with you, I might consider doing some paid ads on Google, probably on Google if I was going to do paid ads. So those would probably be the 4 areas, but the majority of the time, 95% of my time is going to be spent on prospecting in one of those areas, right? Generating leads and conversations with my target market. And this is the problem that I think a lot of new brokers and agents have. They think that, if you build it, they will come. It doesn't work that way, right? It took me hundreds of sales calls before I got my first client as a broker. And I had sales experience before starting. I had owned different businesses. I had been in sales. I had made 6 figures. I had already started and launched a 7-figure business in a totally different industry. So, you got to understand that sales is what drives this business, right? It's not operations. Operations is important, but without the sales, you're just going to sit around all day and twiddle your thumbs. You can have all the trucks in the world, but if you don't have shippers, you're going nowhere fast. And I know Nathan understands that. We've had numerous conversations. I've worked with him. I've coached him. We've been in different programs together, and we've known each other for at least several years now. So thank you for the question. Appreciate it. Hope you guys got some value out of that. But I would spend the majority of my time prospecting and generating leads in those 4 areas. Good question. Thanks, Nathan. Hey, if you enjoyed this Freight Broker Q&A, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the little bell to ensure that you get notified every time I release a new video. And if you have questions, make sure you add them in the comments below, and who knows, maybe I'll use one of your questions on a future Freight Broker Q&A.